What's going on, and welcome to the Stick Drift Podcast, a podcast for all things cars, racing games, motorsports, and more. What's going on, boys, and welcome to an episode of the Stick Drift Podcast. It's one of them. It's like the third or fourth of the year. One. It's probably one, but yes, welcome. And how's it going, boys? Because this is a big week. This has been a big week in mostly, well, also in just motoring, but mostly in gaming, which we thought last week was a big week in gaming. But last week, so we talked about the Unbound update, we talked about the Forza Motorsport, and then we talked about the crew rumors, is what we talked about. And then just the craziest story of how I went quote-unquote viral, I suppose, right, with the articles, as much as that side is, right, which was crazy. But, of course, boys, before all of that, welcome back to the Stick Drift Podcast for all things car culture, racing games. Leave a like on the podcast, joined with me, Sid, and, as always, my co-host, Josh. Both our links are down there in the description as well.
Make sure to subscribe for my bi-yearly videos. You never know when that one's going to come out.
And I believe we hit 800. I might be wrong.
800?
It's going to suck if we're at like 700 and I say when
we're
I'm saying
400.
We hit 800. We are well on our way to 900 subscribers on the Stick Drift Podcast channel. So yes, subscribe, share the podcast around, of course, because that's the main way podcasts grow. So let them know. We are indeed... We have won the 2023 award for Best Podcast, so that's good to hear.
But
yeah, so, of course, boys, started off with the quick-fire news on some of the things that may or may not get talked about this episode. I think I bring up everything, and sometimes we just don't get to something, is what happens.
Half of it gets forgotten.
Yeah, so prepare for that. So, we begin the quick-fire news with... what is that? Holy, I think that's just the article saying that. New Alfa Romeo Tonale?
Sounds like a pasta.
It does. SUV starts at 45 grand.
Oh.
The Ram Trucks 1500 EV will offer a range extender gas engine. So it's a hybrid?
So it's a hybrid, but they're calling it an EV with a range extender. Mazda do that now as well. They're EVs with range extenders.
Yeah, so that defeats the whole point. Am I crazy, or that defeats the whole point?
No, it's unique, very unique and new. And
I mean, I guess that makes it easy for them, right? Because when everyone goes, and now everything has to be EV, they can just stop selling the range extenders, I guess. But it kind of defeats the point till then. A bunch of spotted cars. Next generation Audi A8, which is a terrible name, is said to be very close to the Grandsphere concept, which is an old concept design that Audi was showing around. It looks goofy.
It's touted as a self-driving private jet for the road.
What? So what? Okay.
Some Audi and Marco was just like, this is going to get me a promotion. And then just penned that on paper.
Corvette reveal their 2024 GT car, their GT3. Ford Mustang, the first of the 2024 Ford Mustang, sells for an amount that we'll talk about if we talk about it. Alright? A bit of motorcycle news. They should have, yeah. A Zika, which is whatever that is, did a car.
GTA brand.
Exactly, right? A Zika. We've got a couple other things with the Ford is slashing the Mustang Mach-E prices. Clearly, no one's buying it. It's still the model with the old, like, the mustache. It's got, like, the stereotypical, like, Mexican-looking mustache, essentially.
Looks 20 years old already. I don't know why they released it looking like that, but sure.
A new off-road Porsche has been doing the rounds in reviews. The Porsche Dakar. I think we talked about that a while ago.
We talked about it when it was announced. And
now it's in the review stage. A Bizzarrini, talking about pasta-themed names, I guess. Giotto supercar gets stunning looks. V12 power. It's very concept. It looks like a Ferrari
It looks like a drawing.
Yeah.
It has like sort of Bugatti headlights sort of thing going on up front.
Oh yeah, I get. Oh, like 110, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Nissan actually built the Max-Out electric roadster concept.
They should.
They should unbuild it. Yeah, it's pretty goofy looking.
Take it apart.
Oh, I swear, I always forget, but there was F1. Red Bull did a Red Bull. There's F1 news.
there is some
news. You know what? We'll talk about that in the Motorsports Monday segment of the podcast, which, to be fair, might actually go out on a Monday. To be fair,
whoa!
But it is the segment filmed exclusively on a Saturday, uploaded on a Sunday. Bugatti did the profile. It's probably pronounced Profilée or whatever, right? The profile. They made one, and it's a Chiron with a spoiler.
It's got like a weird rear diffuser, but it's a Chiron
just that. Like, yeah, 1 of 1 sold for, I believe, actually
1 of 1.
It broke.
Put a bump on your Chiron. You've got a 1 of 1.
That's 1 of 1. Well. Yeah, exactly.
2 of 1.
Just like scribble on your car. That's 1 of 1 there. Like,
yeah.
I believe it actually broke the record for the most expensive new car sale at auction, which is quite the specific record to break.
Yeah.
But sure.
Yep.
I guess, what did it beat? The La Voiture Noire, I assume. But
something like that. It's some other 1 of 1.
Goofy Bugatti, exactly, like a 1 of 1 or whatever, right? 8 million. It sold for 8,731,041 £41.
How does that 41 even come up in the bidding? Like, it was at 8,731,000, and no one was bidding. It's like, 41p. And so I was like, yes, please.
Like, I imagine they're sat with the paddles, right? And it's like, who puts their thing up and goes, I would like to bid. Anyone going for 8,000,000?
It's like an eBay bid. Someone bid the 40p, so I was like, haha, 41.
But yeah, that thing sold and did a whatever. McLaren 750S reportedly due later this year to replace the 720S.
Where's the jumper? 720S with a different bumper.
Yeah. I mean, what's the one that we got in the Crew 2 recently? That was the 765. What is that?
720 or 765?
We had the 720. We got the 765 LT. What's the what with the 765 LT? Why is that different?
The 765 is just a 720 with a different front and rear bumper.
So when are we just gonna get like the 762 LT? Right? That'll probably.
I can't wait for the 770 LT convertible Spider.
Exactly.
Mark 5. I don't know.
Oh dear. Right, but. From there, I suppose we can go on to a few. That is the week's main news, I believe. Other than that, I mean, hey, the Crew 3 reveal is obviously one of the big things that we're going to be getting into in a
slightly
minute.
Big.
Just a little bit, you know. Yeah. Other things going on, I believe, not a lot. I think there's not a lot with most of it. I don't know. Tonal, the Alfa Romeo tonal, whatever, I guess, right? Like what do you? What even?
I guarantee it's Tonale because Italian.
Oh, it probably is, right? But you know what? The Ram thing is really dumb. Like, the Ram thing is incredibly dumb.
The Mazda's new rotary SUV thing it's an EV. With a range extender, but it's not a hybrid. Oh no. It's just an EV with a range extender.
Why can't they just make the range extender a bigger battery? Like, for that same amount of room where they then put
money.
I guess it would, right? So, I don't know.
Guaranteed this sounds like a V8 range extender, because
it basically is cancelling out the whole thing. It's like you know, the thing, I think I've talked about it on the podcast before, where it's like you always order 2 steaks. So, at least 1 vegan, so you're cancelling out the work of at least 1 vegan in the world. It's like that. It's like you get the EV, but you also get the range extender, so you know you're cancelling out someone else. You're cancelling out your own EV. It makes no sense. It's a goofy way. I get it, though. To be fair, I do get it.
Yeah.
I suppose it's for... They still want people to buy it, maybe? Like, is that the main setback of EVs so far, the range? Like, especially for like a truck, like a Ram truck, I guess it would be, right?
I imagine it weighs like 400 tons. So
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I assume this is from Car and Driver. I assume there is an issue with the range because they weigh so much. But again, it's like one pickup truck EV. I don't know how any of that market is going to work, but I assume it's because people wouldn't buy it for the range. So they're basically putting in the range extender. But now the issue, maybe it's smart. Maybe we're dumb and maybe it's smart. Because people will buy it because it'll have the range extender.
I guarantee you it's solely for... It skirts around some emissions regulation or something.
It's borderline a hybrid, but you can...
by definition, it is a hybrid. It has petrol and electric.
If you get the range extender, right? But,
yeah. Well, they only come with the range extenders, I'm pretty sure. Oh, he says we'll offer. That's interesting.
There you go. I mean, that's...
So there's just going to be a cavity where the range extender isn't.
Exactly right. But, I mean, that's my thinking, right? So... Essentially, when everyone goes, and now everything has to be EV, they can just not sell the range extender, right? Just actually whack a battery in there. Which, again, would they not... I mean, this is more of a question. I'm not even saying this is like a gotcha. This is more of a question. Would they not get the same amount of boosted range if they just put a battery amount in that same area where the range extender is?
Money.
I guess.
They might get the same range, but... Money, batteries are expensive.
I guess so, right? So they're cutting on cost with that. And what is the A line of Audis? Because the concept looks electric, but Audi's they've got the e-tron
A's
and
the base
I.
model.
Oh no, the I.
A's like you got the A3, the A1, the A whatever. It's like you got the ABC, you got the letter class for Mercedes.
I was thinking of BMW
and
is the one I was thinking of, right? Because BMW's is I.
Because you've got A1 through A, then you've got S1 through 8, then you've got RS. I don't think they're 1, but so like 3 through.
So this is the Grandsphere, and this is what apparently the new Audi A8 is supposed to be themed on, I guess. I don't know. It's goofy, and it's like
it's gonna be just a saloon. It's just gonna be an Audi EV saloon. It's not gonna be anything like that.
It's like trying to go for... I want to say what the i7 was going for, right? That, like, or just the 7 BMW in general, right? It's like that kind of thing. It's car to be driven around in. It's just like a fancy looking Audi is the whole point.
They will lose money on these.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Especially with the R&D to make the concept and everything combined together, right? The concept on its own was already really wacky.
Is that grille at the front a screen with the grille projected onto it?
What, as in like a video? What, like a TV?
Yeah.
Like, I hope not.
Because that isn't a real grille.
No, I think
it looks like a screen.
I think it's the fake grille underneath and then just like a sheet of glass or like plastic in front of it, which is really weird, to be fair. Like, what did we see recently that did that? Was there not another Audi that did that? The off-road Audi?
I think there was. Yeah.
That had a glass thing on the front. It's odd.
Like, it's so odd. I don't get it.
Oh,
the concept looks goofy, and it will never look like that when it's put into production.
Yeah. So. Oh, you haven't seen the back of the concept. This is what the back looks like.
No, yeah, no, I've seen it.
Yeah. It just what is it trying to be there?
Concept.
Yeah. And
apparently... a health and safety hazard, I don't know. Imagine you crash into the back, I'll split your car in half like a cartoon.
Yeah, I can't see anyone buying this. Oh my god! The thing looks even uglier! What is that? What is it? Why do the rear lights look like that? Huh? Ugh.
Whoever designed this shouldn't have a job. Like,
I don't get what they're going for.
It's not even a good concept. Like,
No.
Like, when Dacia do some goofy four-wheel off-roader concept, like, sure, it looks funny, goofy, haha. This just looks bad.
And speaking of bad-looking concepts, we see the... Oh, what even was it? Nissan Max-Out, which is this thing right here. I don't even know how to begin...
I don't know what you would describe this as.
I do know how to. You know the old portable vacuum cleaners?
Oh yeah. It's the front.
It's
the front
the
is
front.
yeah.
It's one of those old portable vacuum cleaners. That's brilliant, actually. And has it got screens?
It has like
for
Rocket League
rims?
vanity wheels.
Yeah, it's got screens for rims, which I assume move about and have like an animation on them. I mean, why make these?
What the
right?
point of this car is?
No, yeah, I think I'm really in a dilemma. Because why do they, like Hyundai, those ones, if they're hyped enough, then you get a car out of it. Mercedes with the whatever one that the Vision or whatever.
Mercedes make concepts.
The Vision.
The funny one that's used.
The one that you
yeah.
use everywhere. I assume that's a marketing thing, because, you know, when you search, like, concept car, that's, like, the main concept car. So that one's worked, I guess. But it's like, I don't... Why? Why make these? Why?
Fitment on the front is kind of tragic. Look where the front of the wheel arch is and where the wheel is. Like, if you're making a cons, at least give a decent fitment.
Like surely they're just making these to win the Stick Drift Award for worst concept car of the year. Like, they...
Yeah.
They can't be... They must see the promo value.
The Audi's worse than this.
Oh, what? The Audi, the
whatever that last
Grandsphere or whatever it was.
This is at least unique in a weird kind of way. The
you can
Audi's
see this
just
in,
bad.
like, an on-theme video game, I guess, right? Like, I don't know what the theme would be, but it would have to be wild
Bad
and wacky. But I believe... Oh, God, one concept to another. Essentially, a concept segment. But next is the Bizzarrini Giotto.
This sounds like a company that's going to go bankrupt in 3 years.
I've never heard of Bizzarrini, to tell you what. Like, considering they don't have a car to show, I'm looking at, this is from Road and Track. These look rendered to me. Unless I'm crazy, those are definitely rendered, right?
Yeah, that's a render. Yeah, it's not even a very good render.
Why does this exist, actually? Named after the company's founder, Giotto Bizzarrini, the Giotto is the company's first modern take on the sports car since its reawakening. Penned by none other than Giorgetto... the son and his son Fabrizio. I swear this
sounds like a parody.
Yeah, like what? Brings the company's classic design to reimagine to the 21st century. To have the opportunity to design an entirely new car from Bizzarrini is a privilege. Who are Bizzarrini?
They probably made a car in like 1903 and then went bankrupt because the car was bad.
Yeah, so that's a Bizzarrini. It's a Miura.
Why is it a Miura
knockoff
mixed with like a 240 GCO or something? Like,
it's
what
just,
am I looking at?
It's like a knockoff Miura, essentially.
It's like a Ferrari and Lamborghini in the, 60s just merged. This is what would come out. And maybe a bit of early Maserati. But
despite only existing...
on the front.
Despite only existing for... They only existed for 5 years. What do you mean Bizzarini's coming back? They existed for 5 years.
I wonder why.
I don't... Where are they getting the capital from this? They expect products from the new company to go for over 1 million. They don't... When was this article that they're coming back? November 2020.
The prestige to ask for 1 million for a car. They made stuff like this.
So this
you can't go from making knockoff Lamborghinis and Ferraris and knockoff Centodiettis. It doesn't work.
So this thing is what? Because November's when they came back, right? Or that they are coming back, and they've got this concept by now. What happens from here? Now they actually have to
one of these.
Exactly, right? Hope that people are like, maybe it'll sell, and then get funding, right? Because where are they getting this funding from?
Pre-orders.
Yeah,
I imagine they'll do pre-orders.
So, right? So
they'll make one, and then open pre-orders for more, and then build the rest based off those pre-orders, and then go bankrupt.
I want to know how many Bizzarrinis sold. It's such a bad name.
4.
How many?
I imagine 4.
Bizzarrini sales? Bizzarrini's sales. It seems like the 5300 GT is their main car that they made.
Like a Ferrari.
It just it
didn't. I can't imagine it sold.
It looks nice with like a racing thing on it, I guess. God, that looks like a warplane. Like it looks like that's what it's cosplaying as. I don't know. it probably sells for a lot. I've never heard of it before, so that's the weird thing.
There's probably not many about.
No. Bizzarrini sales, classic car for sale. It's just people selling it. It seems like people don't want it, if anything. All I can find is people selling it. GT used, search for car. Well, it sells for... I can't manage to find a number. Details. That people are selling a lot of them. But for a car that was only in the 60s, you'd imagine it's a lot of money just because it only sold in the 60s, right? I swear every car that only sold in the 60s is worth like billions an hour or whatever. Bizzarrini.
Depends. They only made fewer than 200 cars in the 60s. So.
Oh, so it probably does sell for a lot then, right? But to be fair, only have made 200, and I'm seeing like at least 20 listings, right? That's 10% of your cars being like already trying to be sold. I don't know where they've.
They were brought back at one point before.
Oh wait, did they?
There's a 2003 Bizzarrini P578 for sale, and it looks like the 5300. But
it's just a Porsche.
Yeah,
it's just a Porsche. It's like what? It's just the old it's like specific like Le Mans type Porsche thing.
That's a 2003, by the way.
Is it? I'm as old as this car. Like, what? I don't get this company. I assume
I don't think the investors do either, because they'd know it's a bad investment.
Yeah, I assume this thing fades out as quick as it's faded in here, right? As quick as it faded out before.
It will generate no hype, go bankrupt in 5 years, and be revived in another 20 by someone else with a lot of money.
But if they want to send us one, I'm sure they would be the best car of the year. I'm sure they can win the best car of the year if they sign.
I don't think you want one of these, to be honest.
I'm sure I could sell it for at least 100. You know, at least I'd make some big ROI. I'm sure a $5 would definitely be some level of ROI.
Well, some Maribo with it after, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Got like last year or something.
And from some content. Oh, actually. Speaking of concept cars, I think we do have to talk about this because we didn't even mention it in the beginning segment. Unfortunately, and we're never going to hear the end of it, right? If it does, the Cybertruck was spotted recently. Unfortunately, it was spotted all around. It was spotted in the wild, so to speak. I'll get it up on screen. But yes, the Cybertruck. Maybe they have one physical... I've jump scared myself. It was on my speakers. Yes, maybe they have, like, one physical model, okay? But, yeah, the Cybertruck...
I can't believe there's no way this is going to sell in Europe.
No. Stop
Look
playing
at the front
speakers.
of it. It's so angular.
No. There's no way this thing gets past. It looks... I get what style it's going
made,
for.
Didn't they? They had like 3 made for that early production show things. This might just be one of those.
What do you want to bet? And so many car companies and celebrities even do this, right? But most likelihood is, what do you want to bet they paid the news company to be like, come and spot this in the wild, you know? I assume they were gonna plan to drive it out, and they were like ringing up the companies like, we're gonna be driving it at this point. We need some publicity. You could come and do an article on this.
It's still the exact same as it was when it was prototyped, and it won't look like it can't look like that.
Am I crazy, or the pickup end of it looks a lot smaller? Like it looks.
Oh yeah, it's horribly impractical. Like,
yeah, because that was fitting an ATV back when, right? Because the very top area.
You could probably fit an ATV sideways.
Yeah. Like, but it seems that the pickup side of it is a lot smaller. And not only that, but it looks a bit too goofy. It wouldn't be able to sell in Europe. Well, singular reason alone, it doesn't have the orange indicators. And it doesn't have the brake light at the top. So it's not going to be able to sell in Europe at all if it doesn't.
Those brake lights are way too small. Indicators are too small. They're too high up. Like it would have to be completely redesigned for sale in Europe, and they're not going to do that.
It's just a gimmick car. Like it's just a gimmick car. who's gonna buy it? I don't know. Other than the people who are gonna buy it to have, like, how much does this sell for? Like, what are the odds it sells for like 70k? That's minimum.
Yeah,
straight
minimum,
away,
minimum.
already too much for a gimmick car. This thing, unless it's suspension, unless it has like a higher suspension mode, it looks impractical for proper off-roading. It'll be like a road pickup, right? Like one of the pickups that people drive on the road, believe it or not, right? That's what a road pickup would be, right? It'll be a road pickup, and it'll just... a gimmick. It looks bad. It looks bad. Am I crazy or it looks
awful,
bad?
Yeah.
Like, I get what they're going for, but it just looks bad. Someone else, there was another concept.
I'm amazed they went with a stainless steel body. Like,
surely that
I'm
can't be
amazed
cheap.
they kept that.
Like, surely,
no, it weighs an absolute ton.
Like, you know what looks like a better EV, even though it's barely EV? The Ram! The Ram looks like a cleaner looking EV pickup.
They've been beat to the market. You've got the Lightning. You're going to have this. Like, get an F-150 Lightning or a Ram, whatever this is called.
Exactly,
there will be better cars.
Yeah.
With better build quality, with better customer service.
Longer lasting, like the looks
it
will
isn't a gimmick.
Exactly, right? It isn't a gimmick. The looks will last a lot longer. They'll actually stick around. And honestly, even though we've seen this, I would still put money on does not come out this year. No shot.
No, it can't. Well, it's not coming out in Europe.
No, never, no. But no shot it comes out this year. And I will stand by that. And you know what? I will give my... right now, right here, I have just won this Stick Drift Award for Best Take of the Year. So, there you go.
Yeah.
And from concept cars to cars that are selling for too much, essentially. And we've got two on this list, which is rather surprising that there is two cars that are able to get onto this list. The first of which is the brand new Ford Mustang, which I talked about. I think it looked pretty cool. I think you said it did not.
It looks like a Mustang. Like, I mean, it was barely a redesign.
I thought it would have been... wait, did I say 2025? Oh, no, 2024. Why is it selling now then, huh? Why are we lying then? Huh? Or is it just like
it's only February.
To hype it, right?
It's advertising.
Yeah, I assume it won't sell at this amount, right? But I dragged the wrong tab. There you go. I honestly, when I first saw it, I thought there was a chance it was EV. It's got that, like, hyper-angular design, right? It feels... other than the scoop in for the hood, it's very less rounded than the older Mustangs were.
The paint helps it, this one. It looks...
Again, I think it would have been better if it was EV, because it looks kind of EV to me. I think it just looks a bit too jagged and a bit too plain if it's not EV. Like, someone who's going to buy that, what? The person who's going to buy that is going to be your average Mustang driver, which is, what? A 17-year-old in... wait, what? How old do you have to be to drive in America? An 18...
Probably 4,
like,
I don't know.
Like a 4-year-old just got his license.
He's got his, his quad barrel, fully automatic shotgun.
Exactly, you know, it's him. And it's like, this thing just looks a bit too tech-y, right? Like, the angular design, I feel like only kind of works.
I don't know, it looks like the other Mustang was slightly more modern.
So what was the last Mustang before this? 2020, maybe?
2022. I think 2022 Mustang would have still been old style.
2022...
Maybe the Mustang GT.
Okay, no, that's gone into that already. Okay, so it's quite the shake-up. It's definitely quite the shake-up of the model. You get what I mean, where, like, the new ones are... this one's a lot more angular, right? Like, here, just on the grill curves into most of these. Here, it's a jagged line.
This wasn't a facelift, it was a major redesign. It's not a major redesign, they just straight up lied. It's a facelift.
I guess, right?
Like, it's got a new bonnet and, like, the bumper's slightly different.
The rear is pretty different as well, right? So it's the old rear was, again, a lot more round.
It's just they lowered the polygon count on the...
That's what it is. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's low res. But that's the kind of design you associate with EVs, but this thing isn't. It's still a gas-guzzling...
it's got a 5-litre V8.
Yeah, exactly, right? If this thing was EV with this look, I would understand. Its look is whatever, it's nice, but to see that thing go and not or whatever fake noise they're gonna put on it, right? It just feels kind of weird. Like,
yeah. I kind
of like it still. I do kind of like it.
It's a Mustang. I don't know.
It's the low poly count Mustang, but I believe you've already read the tweet. This thing sold for $565,000 at auction.
Someone got scammed for $560,000.
So what's happened here is I assume they auctioned off one, but it's the 2024 model, so it's gonna come to market in 2024. It's America.
It's the first,
like,
so I'd assume it's a VIN number like 00001.
Yeah, and it's America, so it'll cost
I don't get how that
pounds.
adds value to it.
It'll cost £2, and it'll be Johnny the American's first car within a year. So the guys just like what were they? How much are the old Mustangs when they like a year after, 2 years after, right? Like I want to say,
buy a Mustang GT over here for like 20-something grand.
Exactly, right? They get dirt cheap. This guy's just paid $480 premium to have what, like a year or two early access.
He's buying it because it's VIN number 1. Like I guarantee that's the only.
But again, that's something he'd have to say, right? He'd have to go, by the way, did you know it's VIN number 1? Did you know it's actually VIN number 1?
Exactly. I don't see how that adds any value.
Exactly. So externally, like not him going, it's VIN number 1 actually. From everyone else's perspective, he's just paid a $480,000 premium to have it for early access for like a year or two.
Like imagine if someone like, I don't know, you've got the Ferrari 488 VIN number 1 versus the normal Ferrari 488. It's going to be worth, what, 20 grand more? But, like, and you can be like, oh, I've got the first. Ah, cool.
Yeah, and then people will be like, whoa, that's crazy. Okay. But as soon as everyone else also has them, it's not going to mean anything. Like, the moment this thing hits market, the guy is just going to have to go, but mine was the first. But mine was the first one.
It had special wheels, like special wheels they were only going to make for that version. Yeah. A metal plaque inside or something, sure.
Put the metal plaque outside, you know, give the guy some slack, you know, put it outside.
Like edition 1 or something. Yeah. Like an edition 1 badge.
Yeah, like it says the badge, give it a specific pinstripe or something, right? I assume it's this color, which is a pretty nice color, but give it someone else with it. Sure. But if it is just this car that's going to come to market in 2024, 2025, and it's going to be a normal Mustang...
I'm assuming it's going to be sat in the garage with 0 miles on it for 20 years, and then he's going to try and sell it and realise that it's only worth 200 grand or something.
Exactly. Like, maybe he's just doing it for resale, right? If he's doing it for that,
It's not going to be worth that, though, in, like, 10 years. It's not going to be worth anything.
Resale within the next few months, because it's a ticking clock. It's a ticket... It's like when they bring back something into the Rocket League item shop. He's bought a titanium white Fennec, and it's been in the shop, and it's going to be in the shop in a week. It's going to be in the shop in a week, and now it's selling at retail. Now it's worth nothing. Because again...
But it went to auction, so no one wants to pay more than that for it. He was the highest bidder, by definition.
Exactly, right? So what's gonna end up happening? It's that, like, now he's got a ticking time bomb that as soon as it makes it to market, it's gonna start selling at retail severely undercutting what he paid. So unless he's
he would have had to have paid fees as well. Like, plus 10% auctioneer fee, that's easily 600 grand he's paid.
He's gonna have a year or two of bringing it to car meets and it being the only one there, tanking its value. Exactly, that's the thing.
If it drove, it is worth it.
But again, if he's not gonna drive it, then he's just got it for no reason. He's just got it for, like,
it's the same reason It's the same reason these people buy the Bugattis and just don't drive them, because they're going to be worth a lot.
Maybe it's a YouTuber. If it's oh no, there's a convertible version. Oh no! Oh no! No!
You buy a convertible Mustang, like they should come with like an explosive under the seat or something. I don't know.
Offered, VIN number 001.
Hopefully, VIN number 1 wasn't.
Yeah, hopefully not. Oh no!
I don't get the point. It's worthless.
Oh no, that's
like
bad.
he's. I don't get it.
11 exterior colors at launch. Mustang at launch after. Is it just VIN number 1 that took place Scottsdale, Arizona, January 28th. Photos are unavailable. We know GT.
Can we think of any other car that would be worth more with the VIN number 1?
Like, yeah.
Like,
all we know is that the GT model, powered by a 5.5 liter V8, rated up to whatever horsepower, whatever torque, the winding, whatever, able to choose whether the 8-cylinder is bolted to an automatic or a manual transmission. I think it's just a Mustang. It's just he's bought the first one that isn't gonna matter in a year or two, and he's paid.
That's 10 grand max to the value.
Yeah,
and
he's paid a 400 grand premium for 2 years early access, and that's kind of disgusting. Actually, that's kind of disgusting.
Yep.
And speaking of that, something that I guess maybe deserved to sell for that much, but really no.
No.
Cars that sold for too much. The famous segment on the Stick Drift podcast. We do this every week, actually. The cars that sold for too much. That's the jingle. Cars that sold for too much. There we go. It is the Bugatti Profile. Probably pronounced Profilée or whatever. It's the Bugatti Profile, whatever,
scam.
Right?
It's a Chiron.
It's just a Chiron with a... So here's where the uniqueness is, right? It's got... spoiler.
Never mind. I'm not looking at a Chiron anymore.
I know. It's got a spoiler.
Does it say Chiron on the back?
I think it says... the number plate says Chiron. Yeah, it's the Chiron Profile. Like, it's not the Bugatti Profile. It's the Chiron Profile. So it's not even like the La Voiture Noire, where it's its own unique model. It's a Chiron submodel that is now the most expensive
spoiler
car
does
ever
nothing.
Sold. No. Like, what is it? Like a... It's not a duck,
4
whatever.
grams of downforce at Mark 5, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. It's like literally... they just took... Like, you know how the conspiracy Toyota just took the Subaru, took out the headlights, and then put their own panel in? They just took off the spoiler and put a different spoiler on. Like this.
Yeah. The rear diffuser looks different. I don't know. I haven't seen the rear.
I guess, the rear diffuser, right? And the front, however... It's just a It's just a 300 plus. Like if you told me that's a 300 plus that someone got in those two colors, I would believe you. Like, it's just that. Moving to this, which I don't know is anything other than the spoiler.
Is that worth what, the 3 mil premium?
Exactly. So what was the? Well, how much did the La Voiture Noire sell for?
It's just something different on the piece of paper you get when you buy it. I guess that's worth it.
La Voiture Noire price. I'm looking to buy one.
Yeah, I'm sure there's loads of Auto Trader.
With around the okay, so now it's 11 million, but around then 7.8 million. So pounds? What is this? This is pounds too. Okay, so it trumped it by almost 1 million. The La Voiture Noire, which the La Voiture Noire again should it have sold for that much? Who cares? Whatever. Did they only make one? Did they only make
two? I think.
Did they make two? See, for the okay, hear me out. The La Voiture Noire, whatever, right? Shouldn't be worth that much. It's cool how it's a remastered on that one lost Bugatti or whatever, right? That adds a bit of story, heritage, whatever. If it's parked somewhere...
What do you mean? This has loads of story. Someone drew a spoiler.
Yeah. Like, it was unique, it was made just for that, it was the new version, it was the whatever. It's pretty cool. Like, it's got the back is, like, kind of derivative of the shape of the lost Bugatti. The front's just a Bugatti. Until they did the disgusting kid car looking... What was it? What's it called? The Bugatti... ugly thing. The La Voiture Noire convertible.
They're all ugly, so...
The Bugatti...
that's got an awful name. I can't remember.
I always forget its name. It is the Bugatti... I can't find its name.
Convertible La Voiture Noire.
Bugatti... It's just like a Mistral. The Mistral. Until that thing spawned, the La Voiture Noire was an incredibly unique Bugatti, considering they'd just been doing the Chiron over and over again. So it made... Okay, all of that...
Bring back the favourite.
Exactly. It kind of made sense that it sold for that much. This thing is a Chiron with a spoiler. And right off the bat, no shot should it have sold for that much. Like,
no.
What even is the thing? Like, so what? They've got...
The fact it's a Chiron, like, model makes it so funny.
It's a Chiron submodel. Like, that's crazy. You got the... Again,
it's like...
The Revolution was unique at least. The Revolution was unique at least. This one is... I guess it doesn't have the back of a 300 plus, right? It doesn't have the extended back. It's got the front of a... Yeah, it's got the front of a 300 plus, the back of a classic Chiron, but with that on it. I don't understand.
Z4 wing, mad.
Like, yeah, I don't understand what else... But bad. Honestly, the Revolution whatever if it sold for the most, you know? That I kind of understand. But what I don't understand, and still to this day am pretty baffed by, Joshua James Lear. I've full named you on the podcast now. It's out there. There you go.
Second time.
No, I stopped myself the first time, I believe. I think I was going Joshua, and then I was like, I was just about to full name you, actually. Just a reminder, by the way, if you watching right now also have a name, is that you? Is that you? You gotta like the podcast. You gotta like the podcast and subscribe. I don't make the rules.
Legally binding, by the way.
Exactly, right. So if you do have a name, now you might not fall under that category. I like you specifically, you might not fall under that category. But everyone else who does have a name, you are now obligated to like the podcast, subscribe with notifications on, out every single Sunday. Check out the Clips channel as well. Some big things coming in now. I'm gonna try and sort it out, get this podcast monetized so we can sort out some cool stuff. And, right, I hate that I'm mentioning this late. I'll mention it at the beginning of the next episode. Everyone was commenting like, I watched this 3 times, 2 times. Watch this episode 3 times.
3 minimum.
Minimum 3. Right. And comment if you watched it more. Comment how many times you watched it. You know, audio.
You only have to do this until we hit
monetization.
Hours.
Exactly.
Then you could watch it once.
You can watch it once after that. You know, you don't even have to watch it after that. Just pay us the money. But like I was saying. Something crazy, Josh, was that I still can't believe is that the crew announced the Crew 3 in my replies, and this was a story to tell. So, imagine the look on my face, right? I finish a New York video. I upload the New York video, right? It was... that's crazy. I uploaded a New York video. It was just me watching someone play New York.
High effort content only.
And I come home from the gym. I go to the gym. I come home from the gym. And as soon as I get to near my house, all of a sudden, I see a notification. The Crew 2 replied, tomorrow 5 p.m. UTC, 9 a.m. PST. I was like, what could this be? I sit there thinking, did I ask when a car was coming out? Did I ask when the summit announcement was? Did I ask for what did I ask the Crew 2?
What did you ask?
That they did this, you know. And then I remember. Well, no, I don't remember. I see that what ended up happening was on December 29th, 2022, I tweeted, the Crew 3 will be announced in 2023. My official prediction, mark my words. And when I open my phone right near my house and I see that's what they replied to, I didn't even know what to think. I screenshot it, I sent it to you. And exactly, wheeling for joy. I rush back. So we talked about this before. UB Forward is where we expected the Crew 2, right? Crew 3, sorry, right?
Yeah.
No shot, nowhere else. We expected UB Forward. That's the only thing that made sense. It would be a big thing.
They don't usually do pre-UB Forward, like, announcements for big stuff.
Because what we heard was it was going to be major IP treatment. So it was like, oh, so I guess it'll be UB Forward. That was the only thing that made sense. So then when I see this... and I go live, and I'm talking about it, and it's crazy. And what ends up happening is Mine was the perfect storm. It was the perfect storm. So a bunch of other people did also get a reply that was like, tomorrow, whatever, right? It was just a bunch of like vague tweets about, hey, we should get the Crew 3 actually. A lot of that. And mine ended up being the best for that. Because it was literally, the Crew 3 will be announced. My official prediction. And what happens there is I start being in all of the articles talking about the announcement. To name the biggest, I was in Kotaku, I was in IGN, Racing Games GG, I was in Game Per, I was in PC Games, Gaming Bolt, and so many other articles. It was crazy. I don't even know what to say. And then the game dropped, and then...
I mean, like 2 days after? A day after?
Well, the day after. Tomorrow, right? And the game dropped, and the Crew 3 got its first official trailer. I'll whack it on screen while we talk about it. Josh, the official Josh of the podcast opinions on the Crew 3 Motorfest, which is now its confirmed name. There you go. It's on the screen.
I mean, it looks like they're going to a small map, which is a mistake.
So that's what I did my video on today. So I've been delving into most of the in-depth stuff. I suppose, if you're not already, the likelihood is you came from my channel. But,
99% of them are.
Yeah, so if you're not already, I do gaming stuff on my main channel, so go check that out. But yeah, so I talked about the map today. And what seems to be happening is, and that's what we heard as well, they're going for Forza. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah, which, for money, sure, but it kind of is coming away from what the Crew 2 was.
Yeah. So even in the rumors and everything, it was said that they were going for Forza.
I can see how people aren't going to like this who have played the Crew 2.
I suppose,
because they'll be expecting a Crew 3.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's a Crew Motorfest.
Yeah. And a tweet that did pretty well, a reply tweet, was to this, and it was, remember when this was about bringing down an FBI undercover bringing down a drug gang or whatever, right? And that is pretty crazy to think about. Looking at this and thinking of that.
Yeah.
Like, they're right? It's a very big departure from what the Crew is. It's I'd say the biggest. You know, people were like, "This isn't the Crew 1, not my Crew." When we got the Crew 2, this is.
It just isn't even the same genre anymore. It is
right. So the big three are Forza, Need for Speed, and the Crew. So here's my game theory. Oh, by the way, the title thumbnail of this podcast. We're playing the Crew 3. We are. We're in the Insider program, essentially. Right?
Yeah, I have indeed played the Crew 3 and can confirm there are cars.
And here's what we think. We can't say.
I'm back to you in 6 months or whenever it releases.
Yeah, you know what? Come back to us in a minute. I mean, like you said, not to reiterate the information that you just said, there is at least 4 cars.
I'd say 5.
I would also say 5. There is the Bronco, the Cian, the Cobra, and the without saying the wrong thing.
I don't know why I'm adding.
What else is in this? What, the Cobra, the Cian, the Bronco, and the Urus. I don't want to say a car that, like, yeah. And the 5th car is the Ram TRX, which was in some of the promotional images. Oh my God, that was cool. Whoa. Okay, right, but yeah, we can't say, obviously. You know, it's a brilliant title thumbnail. You gotta give us that. It's a brilliant title thumbnail. But no, we can't say. We can't even say. We're playing it.
There's cars and they move.
We're playing. Like, look, as you can see, there's cars and they move in the trailer.
There's water. There's an island.
What? There's an island? You can't tell them that. Clouds. Oh my God, there's roads.
Dirt roads.
I'm fairly certain there might be roads, you know, but who knows? Who knows at this rate? So yeah, we're playing it, but you know, we can't say, obviously. Good title thumbnail though, you got to admit. So what was I on about before that?
No idea.
The map, right? So here's my game theory. Here is my absolute game theory. I think Forza has had a lot to do with this. A long time ago, there was rumors that Forza were aiding the Crew 2 in work with weather physics. I haven't seen a single change in the weather physics for the Crew 2 now that I think about it. So, those must be something to do with this, for one. Two, is I think they stuck around. I think that they stuck around for a lot. Exactly, right. I think they basically just mention only things that are public. Is the simple.
Yeah, I don't know what is public. I haven't even watched the trailer.
This is entirely a game theory. You're not watching the SidWaj videos? Wow.
My bad. The 5 that you've uploaded.
Hey, 5 for 5 days. And the shorts. You gotta watch those too. But yeah. So, here's my game theory. I think Forza is doing this on, but I think Forza has got a lot to do with it. I think they started helping them.
I just think Ubisoft want money.
True, that could also be likely, right?
What's the best-selling racing game franchise at the
moment? Forza, right? Yeah, and then do that.
Where is the money? Forza. What doesn't have Forza? PlayStation. Where is the Crew's biggest audience? PlayStation. Yeah. They want money.
But I do reckon, what I reckon is that Forza wants the healthy competition, is what I reckon.
It's just going to sell 4 copies on Xbox. I don't know what you mean.
I don't know, though. I don't know. Because Forza... So here's the other thing I want to delve into, right? So one, I think Forza's got a lot into it. And one, how this game will do if it is just Forza. It will have... If it is just Forza... It'll have a lot of articles. Which, like we've seen in one of my breakdown videos... You know, there's rewind, there's traction control, ABS, all of that as things on the HUD. All things that are Forza. You know, that if it does just become Forza, with what we do have boats and planes and everything, I think that there is a big chance whether it goes either way, right? It goes either way. Obviously, we don't know yet because we have zero opinion on what we've played, and
I have no idea, in general about anything.
Having played it will not be affecting our judgment on this because it legally can't, right? But it can go one of two ways. It can be a bad game, and everyone's like, it's just the worst Forza. Or it can be a good game, and it gets like this is PlayStation's Forza.
Even if it's a worse Forza, it's PlayStation's Forza.
Yeah. And you know what the thing is? It's not Forza. So it'll be like, are you bored of playing Forza? It'll just be... And again, the Crew 2 is amazing for new players. Once this game's had 2 years of updates, now it's got a bunch of stuff that it probably didn't have at launch, right?
Horizon 6 will be out by then.
Oh, yeah, true, right. But, you know, as soon as people start getting bored of Forza, which happens within like a month, right? Straight away, you got like, this game has been out for 2 years and has actually like, this is a Forza, right? Especially with the Motorfest and the festival. And the last shot of the trailer, as we can see, is a shot from the festival. You know, it's got the crowds and it's got everything, and then we got a bunch of the the M's and the whatnot.
Yeah,
we're just gonna have to see. Yeah. It's gonna be PlayStation's Forza, which is a good thing, I guess, right? But people are really... Good thing? Well, yeah, because that means sales, right? I mean, again, that's what we mean.
Yes, sales aren't for you though, unfortunately. I'm missing some of it. But
if it's a good game,
I'd rather it be a good game and not PlayStation's Forza than be PlayStation's Forza.
If it's a bad game, it'll just be knockoff Forza. If it's a good game, it'll be PlayStation's Forza, right? And like that'll be like the articles and everything, and that'll be like the it's just
Forza in like a nobly bad spot right now, though. Like, no one really wants to play it.
I mean, so that's the hope, right? So, but when people started first hearing about this, is the thing, the Crew 2 is known for immensely impressive long-term support. The game is still getting updates, and we're still confirmed another update before this comes out.
Yeah.
Presumably, it can't be amazing if it's just going to be the dying down update. But, like, that's what we've got coming up.
It can't be good updated, so...
No, because, I mean, where are all I assume all the resources have been at this. And also...
Yeah.
I tell you what... It shows in some of the updates that all the resources have been on this.
Yeah. Contractor. I think they was all on a holiday for that update.
Yeah, like what? They could have finished Into the Storm. We didn't get any long-term stuff in Into the Storm. We just got everything dropped at launch. It feels a lot like...
Into the Storm existed.
Like, I get it now. Imagine working on this, right? The trailer. Imagine working on this stuff here, and then having to go... and now I need to go back and quickly finish the crew update, right? Now back to Motorfest, right? I can imagine they didn't care, is what I imagine. I imagine.
I also imagine this doesn't look like it's on Dunia. It doesn't look like it.
It's
so I can't imagine it go fun.
Is it on
going
Snowdrop?
Between? I don't think it's confirmed publicly.
Is it not confirmed? It's like it was in the article, though, right?
Was it in the articles? If it's in the articles, then it's public. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
imagine going
like alleged,
between
right?
Snowdrop and Dunia, like going. From, I don't know, the 21st century back to, like, I don't know, 1904.
Yeah.
Like, it is...
Like...
Can't imagine it's very fun to work on the crew 2.
Just getting the crew 2 to...
You just get used to using all these new modern tools, and you go back and it's like, well, the Far Cry 2 game engine. Like, what is this? I
mean, the word is that it's like, well, what they said
if this doesn't have more than a 60 FPS cap, bad game.
I mean, people said that they said, right, that when they were trying to get a console to go from 30 FPS to 60 FPS, they unironically had a pain of a time. Think about using a tool that has a pain of a time doing that. Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Crew 3 Motorfest, I guess, boys, let us know your opinions on
how do you feel without posting NDA content in the comments?
Obviously, yeah. Like... yeah, right. All that can be said is nothing to do with leaks and whatnot. What do you think of just the things that we've actually seen? The public stuff. Hey, SidWaj makes a good track of everything that is going on with the public stuff. So, there you go. Crew 3 Motorfest. It's a pretty good thumbnail title, I'll tell you what. But yeah. Honestly, other than the public stuff, we're probably not going to talk about it a lot because it's going to be a pain in the ass to talk about, essentially. Because we have to talk about it without talking about it, and obviously the opinions on it have to be catered and adjusted to only be based on the opinions on the public information, which I think we've managed just about so far. I know I noticed that I get pretty good at it too, but from there, I guess that's all the main things in the main show. So from there, we can go on to the gaming segment, where obviously the Crew Motorfest.
There's Motorfest.
There's Motorfest, and the Crew 2 currently is in the Winter Runner week with a sled rooftop as the reward. Ford Raptor Evo. A couple of parts next week is the Porsche. The return of the exclusive vehicle, the Porsche Wasp Edition. Forza, I believe, just entered their JDM Automotive week, no?
Who knows? They do something.
Because the Z prototype or whatever, right? That thing's in Forza now.
Oh yeah,
and everyone's complaining about it because it's just
probably pointless on the festival playlist.
Yeah, it's the reward car or something, right? And people are complaining about it because its customization is just the Forza Aero, the Forza spoiler, and the Forza front bumper, which is incredibly funny. Because
that's most cars though in Forza.
Exactly.
Like I could probably name like 5 cars that I know have more than that.
So yeah,
so
one of my tweets,
they just don't have customization.
So one of my tweets again before even playing the game, a tweet right before, basically right after the announcement and everything. So it's Forza, but with actual customization, all platforms, bikes, planes, and boats, which I believe bikes aren't actually confirmed yet, so who knows. Good post-launch content, support, focus on community feedback, which the Insider program, and more. That's the hope, right?
The issue is, it was confirmed this Forza Horizon was literally only just to get one out before the new game engine.
So hopefully,
like this was literally just meant to be, there's a Forza out.
Just really depends what they're gonna do with the engine, right? Is it gonna be a crazy upgrade? And that's where it all boils down to.
Graphically, it probably will, considering this next gen only.
Oh, is it going to be next gen? Oh, that'll be good. That'll be good. I mean, that's one of the biggest worries with this too, right? Is that, like, honestly,
this will run horribly on PS4. If they don't drop console like TDU did, I'd be shocked.
Like, I mean, honestly, I want to say it's a big part of it. This trailer, it looks good, better than the Crew 2, I want to say. But I think I didn't mention it when actually reacting to it, right? But I definitely did have a bit of this doesn't look amazing when watching this trailer.
I feel it's going to do a Crew 2. Like, it looks okay. Like, for a game releasing in mid-2023,
the car models look
allegedly.
really good here. Like, the Urus car model looks great. There was a separate thing released with the 4 main car models, right? Like, we got the Urus, the Cobra, the Cyan, the other thing. We got the video of just those car models.
My fear is the ones they're porting over from the Crew 2, the old car models, like the old Mustang GT and the... like, the ones who are in the Crew since launch. If they're just porting those over, those will look bad.
Because, I mean, most of the ones in the Crew 2 were just ports from the Crew 1. You see that in Rallycross. You see that in... Because a lot of the Rallycross are just dirt from the Crew 1. A lot of Rally Raid
2013 Xbox 360 car models aren't exactly great.
Yeah, so if they follow that and just port the same cars from the Crew 2, because I assume they'll need something to pad the car list. So likelihood is that most cars, they're the basic cars. Every car should have, like, the Mustang, right?
From the Crew 2.
Yeah, because like every racing game's got like just the Mustang. So stuff like that. If they're just gonna port it over, it's gonna be very stinky, essentially. But hopefully it isn't, and the gaming segment has just become a Crew Motorfest again.
Depends how TDU looks, but I've got a feeling it's going to do a Crew 2 and look dated in 3 years.
Yeah. Hopefully not, though, right? TDU, again, zero news. Need for Speed? What did Need for Speed do? Did they do the thing? They did the thing,
right? They haven't done anything since announcing the balance patch.
Did they not announce that it was a something or something? I might have
Not that I'm aware of.
I
think you did dream that.
Honestly.
Like, they said they're going to talk about it in March.
Yeah.
It's not March.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware.
Well, from that, I suppose we can go to Motorsports Monday, the segment filmed exclusively on a Saturday, uploaded on a Sunday, but sometimes uploaded on a Monday. Today. Exactly. It's filmed on a Sunday and uploaded on Monday. Disgusting.
Yeah, just nothing even the car.
Well, Red Bull is what there is to talk about. So
they didn't do anything. They found a new livery.
Like, and
there's nothing to talk about.
This is bad.
They're always the exact same. Like, they are always the same.
Yeah.
No one was expecting anything. It's the car looks the same. The livery looks the same as usual, as they all will this year. Car?
Huh?
Oh, there's cars, I guess, haven't there?
Yeah. Other than that, no, nothing. When does F1 start? When did that start F1?
I had the dates and I've forgotten. We get for our first test mid-March, I think. And then first race is end of March, early April, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
Maybe even May. But yeah, nothing interesting.
And I guess we're just waiting till then. So, Motorsports Monday.
Formula E is going on again.
Ooh, what's going on in the world of Formula E?
Porsche's meta, that's about it, I don't know.
No.
Citroen have a Formula E team. That was funny to me. I've seen one race and I was like, this is funny, and then closed it. So they raced.
But from there, I believe, given Motorsports Monday never has a lot to talk about, that is the end of this episode of the Stick Drift podcast. We will see you boys in the next one, which will obviously be next week.
Next Sunday.
Actually, no, we will see you boys right now, because you're about to, as soon as this ends, whack it on loop and watch it from the beginning and watch it 20 times.
What is more watch time? Playback speed 2 times or 0.5?
Watch slower, I think. Yeah, so watch it at 0.25.
Slower, yeah.
Yeah, obviously, you know, and then watch it a billion times. I don't know how much within
5
TOS
times over, yeah. Build if this is against TOS, don't.
Exactly.
But have a farm of like 400 computers, each with it looped on 0.25.
But there you go.
Only the best.
But that's about it from us, boys. Check out the whatever and whatever. I'll see you boys in the next week, I guess. All right. In a
Yeah.
bit.